Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blade XLord video. Today we're going to be talking about the two new lightning banners that are out, one for the featured new unit Amina and one for lightning units and weapons in general. So I am going to go over the banners and talk about a little bit about the new character and whether or not you should actually pull on this banner. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we go with the video. Hope you are all doing well. There has been a couple of days break since my last video. I actually lost my voice a little bit. If you don't know, I'm a teacher, so I'm talking all day on mic with students, and then I am talking on mic for these videos, and I just didn't have much of a voice to film videos with, so I broke my streak of putting something up every day, which is a shame, but what can you do? Now we're going to get into the banner and talk a little bit about whether or not you should summon on this one. So as per usual though, we do have an event going on right now that has water units, and the next Knight's Order is going to be water units as well, so you really can't miss having lightning units for these. Now if you're not close to a lightning party, then that's one thing, but let's take a look at the actual banners and decide on whether or not they're good. So the lightning rate up banner is the same as we saw with fire. You're going to have all of your lightning units with a higher rate at 0.5, as well as all the lightning weapons at 0.33. So the funny thing about this banner is that when we had the fire one, all I saw on Reddit and in the comment section and on the Discord is that people were pulling everything but fire units, and of course that's variants, but what do you like? That's it dissuades you from pulling on these types of banners, and not to mention just that every single unit is in here. It's really quite a few, so it makes it, plus all the weapons of course too, so it makes it really hard to decide on these types of banners. But if you are close to rounding up your lightning party, and especially if you need something like a tank or a healer, you don't need another damage dealer, you already have two, then maybe this is the banner that you're going to be pulling on. Otherwise, this is one that you're going to skip. So unless lightning is something that appeals to you, or that you're very close, or that you have a full lightning party and you're just really wanting to grab some of those SSR weapons, then you're going to be pulling on this banner. But if you don't have those things, then get out of here, don't pull on this banner. So looking at the new units, this is going to be appealing to people just because she's brand new in the game. She's a pretty cool unit. The event is going to go through her story, so you're going to learn all about her, and she's pretty eccentric, definitely an interesting character. And her weapon is also featured in this banner. So if we take a look at the offering rates, we can see that she is a 1.2% appearance rate, which is very, very nice, and her weapon is a 0.7, so definitely pretty good rates here. So if you were building your lightning party and you only needed one more DPS, then this would be the banner maybe that you'd pull on. But again, it's always up to you. So let's take a look at her and see if she's even worth pulling on. So we can take a look. It's gonna go over the details of the summon here, and we'll get to the unit in a second, but you're also going to get some summon medals for this that you can spend on stuff, but if you're not wailing out, then you're not going to get enough to buy her or other units anyway, so that's not really that big of a deal. Her weapon is pretty cool, just because I really like that Beat It auto ability. The Imperial Lightning Assault Blade 2 is fairly standard, but that's all there is for that kind of thing. Now looking actually at her, that's what we want to do. So here's her weapon, and again, these weapons are always really good. The stats on this weapon are actually really, really solid, and we already looked at the auto ability, so this is just a good staff for her, obviously. But actually looking at her now, okay, we're finally getting into it. Here she is. Here's the Amina, and we can take a look at some of her stats, and we'll put her in 3D there as well. If you haven't seen her yet in the event, she is a cat girl, meow. So she's lightning staff user, attack type, and she's got some stats. Her HP is fairly low at 7,757, and her attack is fairly low, but that is not really that relevant because she's a caster. Her magic attack is very high. It's actually higher than Mirabelle's max by 1, so that is a very good thing to consider, that she has very high magic attack, but her defense is very, very low. It's not as low as Mirabelle's was, but it is 175 is quite low. Her magic defense is just okay. It's not as high as some of the other casters. To give you an example, Mirabelle's at 264, and Yule, of all people, is at 277. So she has good magic defense. It's above average, but it's not going to be just like this end all. That's not going to be a big feature of her. So it's really going to come down to her skills. So we'll take a look at these. These are all upgraded to level 2, and her brave skills upgraded to level 3. So her first skill is Guitar Wail, which deals a 340% magical damage. Hitting an enemy in break state reduces the next cooldown of this skill. So that's really good. The more you can cast skills in break state, the more damage you can do. So that's okay. It already has a very, very short cooldown. She also has Dancing Plasma, which deals 430% magical damage to all enemies in an area of effect. Hitting a disrupted enemy greatly boosts your magic attack. So you're going to need to pair her with someone that can disrupt easily and consistently, because you want to boost her magic attack if possible. Glitter Claw is 690% magical damage to all enemies in an area of effect, and that deals 2 times more damage when your HP is 50% or more. So she doesn't have a lot of HP and she doesn't have a lot of defense, so you're going to want to augment this. Although it's the biggest thing about this skill is it's going to be good for clearing like lots of enemies because it hits multiple enemies. But when the boss is broken, your HP should be in pretty good shape, so that's hopefully just going to be hitting for its big amount. But otherwise, this could be a pretty cool skill for your looping and stuff. And then finally we have Golden Rampage, and this one deals 1140% magical damage and a great deal of break damage to all enemies in the area of effect, and it also lowers their lightning resistance. So this is a really important skill. Just like Mirabelle had skills that would make her fire damage deal more and her burn deal more and all that kind of stuff, we're also going to see that here with Amina, but it's just not quite as good as Mirabelle was. She's not going to be nearly as relevant. Lightning Fantasia is her brave skill, and it costs 3 BP. It superbly reduces the cooldowns of all lightning allies and reduces their skill cooldowns by 5. So this could be really solid during a break, especially if you don't have a unit with a big attack brave skill. But if you do, then like the way that it works with Heathbell is, you're not using anything over Heathbell's brave skill, so it depends on who else is in your party. But it's not a bad skill, but it's not ideal. So this isn't like, she could be your main depending on what else you have, what else you need. And then for her auto skill, she has Speedster, which greatly increases your cooldown rate at the beginning of each wave. That's really solid to get started with a bunch of skills, get that break started really early. And then she has Dancing Lightning Beasts, which greatly regains your HP when your HP is 50% or less, and it's only once per battle. So this is pretty solid to keep her HP up so that she can use Glitter Claw and do more damage, but it's only the one time, so it's an okay auto skill. It's not the be all end all of auto skills. And then otherwise, her link up bonuses are fairly standard, just lightning units and attack units. And she's got sigil information, I guess. It depends, like whatever you've pulled, that you maybe you really need someone that can craft these, but this isn't like the reason to pull, unless you're like, that's the last thing that you're trying to figure out. Then maybe you're trying to get a character that has the sigil craftings that you want, but otherwise, and the expert and the specialties, etc. But yeah. Okay, so at this point, we have to really just decide on whether or not we want to pull on her, and I'm pretty skeptical about it. She's just not as strong as Mirabelle, who is a mage unit that we just got, and that gives me pause. If you look at the Japanese rankings, they have Amina at a ranking and Mirabelle at an S ranking, just to give you an idea. Her skills are also pretty confused. She's all over the place. If you look at Mirabelle, her skills pretty much do more damage at every tier than these ones, and then they also have like the burn damage up and all the other synergies that are going on. They have the ways to make your party deal more damage as well. So it's so tough in Blade XLord because you need to fill out your party, you need to expand into multiple elements. So I do think that if you like the character, or if you're trying to get that last lightning unit, then and you feel like you're fine using the gems, then by all means you can pull on her. But I'm not going to. I am actually going to hold. I'm not going to pull on this banner, and part of that is due to kind of what I'm rolling with my units right now. So if we take a look at these bad boys and girls, I've only got 2 lightning units, Charles, who is the man, and then Meryl, who's one of my favorite characters in the game, and she's actually one of the better starter characters, but you know, that's just not that strong of a start into lightning. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off, but really it comes down to where you are with your team, what you need, and if you are gonna go in on her, then good luck. Let me know how she is. I'm very curious about that, and if how much her lowering of lightning resistance gets the rest of your team going in terms of damage. That interests me quite a bit as well. So please, by all means, share that in the comments below. With that said, I hope that this video was very useful to you. If it was and you want to see more content just like this, then you have to hit the subscribe button. That is not a choice, you must do it. But if you don't want to see this content, then you can just click X and get out of here. So let's go. Let's move on. I'm gonna be putting up an event video tomorrow, and then the plan is to start doing more Blade XLord videos, doing some more unit reviews. I'm gonna talk about the best healers in the game. I'm gonna talk about some individual units that I like, and we're also gonna be talking about accessories, sigils, weapons, all that kind of stuff. So look forward to it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MysidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Mysidians.